Today, I am super, super excited to have Christie Steiger in the studio with me. How you doing, Christie?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I have been really pumped to sit down and talk with you. Christie is part owner of Innovative Wellness.
Yep.
And honestly, it was one of those things where I was in a small group, and Christie came in, and I think it was a last minute, right? Kind of a last minute deal.
Yes. They called and just said, we would love to talk about Innovative Wellness. My business partner was hosting that breakfast, and he was like, I can share or you can share. And I thought, I better just pop in.
And it was perfect. And that was, and I happened to be there, and instantly I was super captivated, interested to find out what is going on with Innovative Wellness. And I'd love to just have you tell me your story and talk a little bit about what you're doing there.
Absolutely. So Innovative Wellness actually started 10 years ago. I was a financial planner and got sick. When I exhausted our Western medical system here in Des Moines. And what I found was people were telling me that my symptoms, that's just what happens as you age, or as a new mom, you might feel tired. And I just knew there was something more than that. So I actually went back to school for a functional medicine certification that took 3 years. And then everywhere that I turned, it's like when you buy a new car and you feel like everyone's driving it.
Right.
Everywhere I turned, it was like everyone had symptoms like I had. They didn't feel good. They weren't getting answers. And so I'm the type of person, I just had to do something about it. So I slowly was just starting. I wanted to do this just part-time. My husband was traveling the world for John Deere at the time. And so I was just seeing people that I had met at play dates and different things. And it just blossomed and grew. And I realized that the way that I viewed the human body and approached wellness was very different than what anybody was doing in traditional medicine. And people were getting better and thriving. And so I just couldn't stop. And I hit a point where it just made sense to open a brick and mortar and have our own providers and our own full-blown medical clinic where we treat the entire body. So that's where we're at today with Innovative Wellness.
Wow. I mean, so I love it because it came from a place of need. I mean, you yourself were struggling.
Absolutely.
And then I think like you had said, when you struggle, you start to find others that are having the same problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or similar situations. So, I mean, from that point in time, how quickly did you then start putting the team together and the whole concept?
So I worked on my own for, it would have been 6 years. It was just me. I rented space out of different chiropractic offices. It was great. I worked just a couple days a week, but I did everything from scheduling to supplements and meeting with the patients. And it just got to the point where I couldn't do it all by myself. I actually tried to step away because my husband's career was taking a lot more time, and
Sure.
we have little kids. And so I just was like, something has to give. But we realized pretty quickly that Innovative Wellness, it's so fulfilling. Like when you see people that aren't thriving and then they're just like walking out their purpose in life and just living in abundance and wellness and so grateful. Once we opened the clinic, it's been 2 years. Actually, today is our 2-year birthday.
Is it really?
Today, yes.
Congratulations. Yes. Wow, that's awesome.
So, and we have 14 employees now.
I mean, so this is great. It's something that's obviously blossoming because
Yes.
it's continuing to grow. And it sounds, for the talks we've had, you're growing your facility.
Yeah, we're moving. So we're hopeful to be moved into our new space. You're in commercial real estate. So Yep. I'm holding the date with a little bit of grace, but hopefully February 1st we'll be in and open. Yeah.
It is, the thing that really struck me is when you came and spoke to us and you said people are still hurting. They're still not feeling well. And they've tried all these things. They've tried a bunch of high-powered medicine. They've kind of followed the Western medicine strategy, and it still has not worked for them. So I love that there's other options, and I love that I actually went in, and it was such a fantastic experience. I went in for a blood draw, and what I appreciated the most about that is you walk in, you do your blood draw, it's a fast deal, but it was something. I remember talking to the person at the front desk, and they said, we really want to take the time to get your draws back, analyze them, and then sit down and go through them with you. And I absolutely appreciated that. So then it was cool to talk through. But the thing that was really exciting was to sit down, talk through my blood draws, and then kind of put a plan of action. And it wasn't anything that was pushed. It was just like, hey, here's what things look like. Here's some suggestions. Yeah. Are you hurting anywhere? Do you have pain? Are there things that you want to feel better? Areas. And I love that approach. And so, yeah, it's been great. I've had tell me about some of the treatments that you're doing there.
Yeah. So at our office, I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, that's our big mission behind everything, is just to empower patients to really start to understand how the body functions. If we don't know how or why, it's really hard to make sustainable changes that are going to last. So some of the services, so we are a family practice. Our practitioners are family practice, so we treat the entire body. We do have hormone replacement therapy. We feel that that's a very big area for people. If your hormones are imbalanced, your whole body is likely not going to function optimally. We have shockwave therapy for pain. Yep. We also use that for aesthetics. We look at the body through a lens of quantum physics. So that's that intracellular function. So our lab draws are incredible. They are more comprehensive than you're probably going to get at most places. But we pair that with quantum technology, which really taps to the inside of the cell and can help you to identify some things that would be going on that we can't see in lab work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just taking it to that level. and that is, I remember when you first talked to us, you're like, I'm going to get a little nerded out right now. But that's great. I mean, that's what I appreciated that. I think a lot of people will appreciate that because it's easy to just do a lab draw for an annual physical. Oh, yeah. It looks good. Sure. All right. I want to know why, and now I'm getting closer to 50, and I think you just get to a point where I want to plan for the next decades and I want to feel good. And I think that people would agree, right? If we all could feel better, if we all could have a little bit more knowledge and have people that actually have a team that we can go to that care about us. I'm excited to see what the new space looks like. It sounds to me like you have quite a few other offerings that people don't even know about. I mean, is everything listed on the website?
Yes, so we're actually revamping our whole website too, that will allow for online booking. Because we were outgrowing our space almost immediately after opening, we weren't able to offer that, but we have an IV suite there that is going to be beautiful. People can just come in, get an IV, hang out. We have IM injections, NAD. We offer peptides, longevity. We have a photobiomodulation bed that actually has frequencies while you're in the bed that can help it's bioresonance. So we have frequencies that help your organ systems to get back on track. And all cells are made out of electricity. So when we can get that electrical current back to optimal, the body will create homeostasis by itself.
Wow. Don't try to repeat that. That is incredible. So with all of that said, then tell me what are some of your biggest success stories? Patients that maybe came in that were struggling, that were really fixated on Western medicine. It wasn't working. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, over the years, I've seen so many patients and we have so many cool testimonials, but one that really sticks out to me is somebody that came in. It was actually a mom who brought her child and he was really going blind. Like, he had so much inflammation in his eyes that the medication that they were using had a significant chance of creating blindness too, and the inflammation was headed that way. And I was just honest with them, like, I didn't learn about eye pressure or anything in functional medicine school, but through the quantum technology, we were able to go in and rebalance and figure out what was going on with his eyes and then create that new balance for him. And he's thriving and amazing and off all of his medications and doing great.
That's huge.
Yes.
I mean, I think that right there is the difference when you can have some options. And I feel like you get to a point where in regular medicine, there's always those side effects.
Yeah.
Or a lot of times there are. It's like, yes, especially for pain. Mm-hmm. And that's what I focus, I talked to my mom about it, and she's 76. She does, she puts in about 25,000 steps a day. Yeah. She's a machine. But, she's been hurting, and so she'd be a great candidate to come in and have a look, because I mean, it's just, it takes away her personality. Yeah. Like that's how she is. She loves to be around people. She loves to have lots of energy. And when she's down, it's hard.
Yeah. So a lot of the other, more common things that we see are people that are in pain, and they don't realize, 80% of people that are in pain have depression. So when I heard that statistic, I was just like, it broke my heart, because again, like your mom, they want to go, they want to do things, but it can isolate them. It can keep them away from things. But we see a lot of people either with pain, fatigue, unable to sleep well, just brain fog, not feeling like themselves, like just really, they know that there's something better and they remember how they used to be.
Yeah.
And so being able to tap into like that energy and that vibrancy, and being able to go and do and be around the people and create the work and the career that they want.
That's it.
It's so rewarding.
It is. And I mean, it's hard to do that when you don't feel well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think it seems like you've got the people that really might have the, long-term injuries. Maybe they were in a car accident. Maybe they've had some other health issues. What are some other things, other types of pain that people have that you would say the majority of people do have, but they ignore?
Yeah, we see a lot of people with like frozen shoulders, unable to put their coats on, even when they come in for just a functional medicine visit or to meet with a provider right now, and they're hanging up their coat. You can see that it's hard and they're struggling to do that. A lot of people, it's knee pain. I mean, we have seen a lot of people with injuries from previous car accidents or work accidents or things like that. And it's great being able to get people back to that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how it goes hand in hand, like you said, with the depression side.
Yeah.
I mean, and some of the things you do offer, they do help with depression as well, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I see a ton of people for mental health.
Okay.
We have quite a few testimonials too for people even that have struggled a little bit with like OCD type tendencies. I tell people that sometimes that just looks like overthinking things or leaving conversations and like not being able to turn off your brain. I have a huge niche in that area.
Okay.
Because when there's something going on, it's typically in the caudate nucleus or the basal ganglia of the brain that causes that. And through quantum physics, again, you can kind of tap into those areas and you can create the homeostasis, and people get relief. Where they've tried anxiety medication or depression medication, but because it's not getting to the root cause, it doesn't completely fix it.
Right.
And then what happens is they start to feel hopeless. They're like, I've been to all these doctors. They're giving me the same medications. It doesn't feel like it's working, but nobody has any of their tools in their toolbox. And so as I meet with providers, I'm really passionate about like teaching providers and helping them to understand functional medicine. And they're really open to it. And for a long time, I thought I had imposter syndrome. Like I don't know anything. They know everything. And the reality is they don't learn a lot of this in medical school or when they're going to school to be a nurse practitioner. They learn very little about this. And so much of our health comes from our nutrition and our nutrients and what we're doing at a foundational level.
Yes.
And the functional medicine school that I went to was very much, she was a double MIT grad in biochemistry. So we learned the chemistry of the body and looked at it like a machine. I mean, it's really, if you're missing oil or a battery in a car, it's not going to work. But it's the same thing for the body. Like if we're missing nutrients, we cannot expect the body to then function optimally or even be able to perform certain tasks to get rid of toxicity and to help you to feel good and feel vibrant. So,
yeah, I mean, it definitely, there's a science.
Yes.
I mean, that's just what it is. And that's fantastic. So something like that, then you would meet with someone, and then is that part of the red light type of a therapy, or what type of therapy would that be if someone came in and you were going to help them with that depression? What are some of the things you'd recommend then? Yeah,
so if we were looking at depression, what we would do is we have our quantum hair analysis that we do.
Okay, that's what I was interested in.
Yes,
okay.
And so that will show like the root cause as to what's going on, or why their body is just not optimal. And so again, I think sometimes we overthink it. Like if we get the body back to optimal and we can get that cellular vibration back to where it needs to be, and we're healing the mitochondria and we're doing these things to support. So that's where the bed would come in play. It boosts the mitochondria. It increases the cellular vibration. And then we don't have to micromanage the body. The body will heal itself.
That is that is fascinating.
Yeah.
I love the cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's, I'm just really excited. I feel fortunate to have met you, and I mean this genuinely. What a great staff. Everyone is just wonderful to work with. I've had such a great experience. I'm excited to obviously go back, and I had some work on my shoulder, had some work on my knee, and it's really that the shockwave therapy has come in huge. That's really kind of the things that I've done so far. There's other things that I'd love to look into as well.
Yeah, and pair the shockwave therapy with the bed because it reduces inflammation.
Okay.
So yeah, it's systemic inflammation that is throughout the body. We have an inflammation setting. We have a muscular skeletal setting. We have brain settings. So there's so many fun frequencies that you can like target different areas within the bed.
See, thank you. Because I was thinking, I'm like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've been really impressed with is it is very affordable.
Yeah.
I think I remember when you first talked to us, I'm like, oh boy. I'm thinking because, some of these things, obviously, a lot of insurance companies don't necessarily contribute maybe or pay for.
Right.
Help pay. And it's just, I was really impressed with the fact that you have options. I know with the shockwave, I was able to purchase 6 of them.
Yeah.
And it was very affordable.
Yeah, and they never expire because a lot of people don't need all 6 right away. All clinical research is showing that you do 1 a week for 6 weeks, but we have so many patients that it only took 3. And then we're like, save the other 3 because if you do something or you're working out or lifting and you tweak something, like come in. It's actually creating those stem cells and the growth factors to go to that area. But yeah, I'm excited for you to do, even the lab work and looking at that comprehensive panel and really diving deep into your own personal biochemistry and knowing like what's wrong. I think that's what's wrong today in society is people are on TikTok and Instagram and AI. And so, we're being marketed to from all of those different platforms. And so when you can really start to understand your own body, then when you're learning on those platforms, you know what you need to apply for yourself.
I 100% agree. I remember way back when, there's probably a statistic out there for people that suffer with anxiety, probably a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I remember back in the day, I was going through a really tough time, lots of business stuff, personal stuff going on, and I got anxious. And I remember someone gave me a book called Panic Away, and I read it. Nice. But what helped me is the information.
Yeah.
To learn about it, to learn about the body, just what I'm doing with you right now, and to learn why things happen. And I remember when I was going through that, I was like, you know what? This is awesome because you have a better understanding. And I remember it kind of walked through a bunch of like, panic attacks and things. And it would say, this book was saying, invite them in, invite it in. Don't fight it, don't tension up. But it was just interesting. Everyone's going to have their own ways of saying that. But what I appreciated about it is it gave me the knowledge. Yeah. Even if I wasn't in that situation, if I were to be in that situation, I would kind of understand. Yeah, what to do.
Yeah. So with anxiety, it's really fascinating to me too, though, because you really have to look at the brain. So when you're creating new healthy neurotransmitters, you need vitamins like B6 and B12. A B12 deficiency all by itself can cause anxiety. So if somebody is really low in that, and our reference ranges aren't great on B12 because they take the average population, and most people take a proton pump inhibitor for like stomach acid. And when you have no stomach acid, you don't have adequate B12. So even since I've been in functional medicine for 7 or 8 years, that reference range has gone from like 300 to 200, and they just keep backing it down, where optimal is closer to 1,000. But then you look at women, and so many women are on birth control. Birth control depletes B6 all by itself. If you have heavy metals and toxicity in your body, they'll bind to things like B12 and your glutathione, which is your master antioxidant, and it actually will strip it out of the body. So we can have things and we can have toxicity that's actually working against you and is taking the nutrients that your body needs to create a new healthy environment within your brain so that you're not anxious. And so that's also the lens that we're looking at things. Like, are you taking things? Have you been exposed? We have a lot of farmers here. I meet with a lot of people that are overexposed to chemicals and glyphosate, and that's fine. But then we need to know what that's doing to the body and what that's going to deplete so that we can replenish it on the back end. And there's not like a compounding effect of being exposed to the toxin, not being able to get rid of it, and then not replenishing the things that toxin is taking. Yes. And all of that can then look like anxiety.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it does. I mean, I love, and there's another example of just taking the time.
Yeah.
And, what I was really impressed with is it was not intimidating, because we can talk, and obviously,
Yeah.
you're using, some big medical terms.
Yeah.
And that, the general public might say, oh my gosh, what does that mean? It's nice to go through, have a discussion, figure out what's going on. And I love that it's customized. And I remember that was one of the things you said, hey, let's kind of create something that is custom because everyone's different.
Yeah.
And a lot of these studies are tough. I get it. They're based on such a large population.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they totally are. But it is custom. I mean, you can have somebody that comes in for a stomach issue, and it could be some sort of pathogen that they've been exposed to somewhere and didn't fully eradicate, maybe food poisoning or something from another country. It could be a parasite, but it also could be stress and emotion, and if you think about that, it's like when people do have trauma or they have something that's going on, just because two people have a stomach ache and they're almost having the exact same symptoms, the root cause can be very different for those people.
100%. Yeah. And I think it's easy to get discouraged.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
if you don't know what you don't know, or
Yep.
you've been told no so many times, we don't know what's going on. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think now I've noticed that, I think we all probably have close friends that have gone through some things, and whether it's health issues, some mental challenges, and they get told no.
Right.
Or just take some medicine. Here you go.
Yeah.
Hope the
Or the
helps.
providers are busy and
Yep.
you kind of just get in and out and nobody really knows you. Our goal at our office is to really know our patients. Like, one of the things we talk about in our team meetings is I want, as our staff, to be, this is our family. Like, we spend a lot of hours here. We love each other. We have an incredible culture, but we want that for our patients too. So, our space, we are moving to a bigger space, but we can only handle and maintain so many patients.
Right.
Before, we're not going to kill our providers or ourselves. So there will be like a cap on how many people that we can see per location. But ideally, our model is that we do know our patients, so that you come in, you see a provider, we get to the root cause, you're feeling great, and then you're like, shoot, we all just woke up with pink eye. You're not going to the doctor. You already established care with us. You call our clinic, hop on a quick phone call with a provider, and they're going to send in your drops to your pharmacy.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah. So we treat the whole body like a family practice office would. We can manage all of the medications that people are typically on, thyroid medication. We have so many people that come in. We've gotten a lot of people off of their thyroid medication, which is awesome. Because again, we got to the root cause. Their body wasn't lacking that medication. Something else underneath was going on. And so when we resolved that, they got off of it. Now, to be fair, we aren't against all medications.
Right.
I've also had people come in and they have really high blood pressure and they're like, I don't want to take anything. And it's like, well, the responsible thing to do right now until we figure it out is utilize the medication.
Sure.
And then get to the root cause and then see if we can back you off of things. So, but we have tried to make it affordable. Yeah, I feel like it's very reasonable to come in. Our visits after you establish care are $75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's similar to a copay.
Yeah.
On a lot of insurance
Yes.
plans. Yeah, and I always felt that, yeah, you embraced if someone was on some medication. It was more so, let's look into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh no, just stop taking it because we don't believe in it.
Right.
That's never what I felt. It was more of like, okay, let's look at your plan. Do you understand why you're on this?
Yeah.
Have they explained? How long are you supposed to be on it? How long have you been on it? Just asking those questions. And I think that's what makes a big difference. And trying to make an educated, calculated decision on, should I stay on this? Is it really helping me? Should I make a change?
Right.
Can I talk through it?
Yeah. And I've even seen quite a few people that have gone for like executive physicals, right? And they're going and they're looking at what's going on. And there's components of those that are even great. But when I look at the labs that they're drawing, we're missing so many things. So I love the way that we approach lab work, that we're really adding some of those comprehensive pieces, like for a lipid panel or cardiovascular health. That's huge right now. It's a silent killer, and it's on the rise in the United States of being something that is taking more lives than it should. And so what we can do is we can actually look and see the particle size of the lipids to see if they're bad. If you have big, nice, fluffy lipids or fat molecules, it's great. But if they're small, dense, and they're getting into the wrong place, it's not awesome. And so we can look and see, hey, yeah, yours are elevated, but they're all nice, big, and fluffy, and we don't need to worry. Like, let's make some of these changes and then we can just go from there. The other thing that people don't realize is cholesterol is the building block of all of your sex hormones. So as you age, your hormones will actually decline, but your body will increase your cholesterol because it's the building block for those. So it's like, I know how important the hormones are, so I'm going to make more of the starting place of how we can make more hormone. So your body starts to increase your cholesterol so that you can make more hormones. So then if we get the hormones balanced, sometimes the cholesterol will just fall back into place.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just fascinating. I mean, I could continue this conversation forever. I love
glad
it.
you like it too.
I do. And I like to know why.
Yeah.
It's fun to learn. And I think now, I think as you get older, you have more people that, you've been connected to, not just family members, friends, but that have had some health issues. And it makes a big difference just to know. And unfortunately, I've had, friends that are quite a bit younger than me that, have had cardiovascular issues or, that you didn't know about. So when I did that lab, is that something, then do I come back in for a different type of a lab to look at what you had mentioned on the cardiovascular side, or is that part of that initial draw?
Yeah, so if we see something that's off in that initial draw, there's a more comprehensive panel for cardiovascular, and then your appointment would really be like a cardiovascular appointment.
Got it, okay.
But I also tell people, like, when we're looking at hormones too, that's why we're so different. We're taking the whole entire picture and body into place. Like, it affects your heart, and hormones have to go through your gut health and your liver health, and they have to be methylated and detoxified. So instead of just giving somebody hormones, we're looking at the entire body and all the pathways that they're going to touch and support that too. When you're asking me the type of patient that we see a lot, like, that's another huge, like, success area for us. We'll see people that feel a little depressed, their muscles ache, their joints ache. Testosterone really plays a huge role in that synovial fluid, which is what keeps your joints lubricated, in cardiovascular health, in your lipids. And so when you get that balanced, then a lot of times things will fall back into place and people feel more energetic. They want to go to the gym. They have more stamina. Their brain is more clear. They're sleeping better. Their marriages are better. Like, the whole thing. Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's just a domino effect.
Yes.
And understanding what's going on. And that was another thing I wanted to ask. You brought this the first time, maybe when you spoke to our group, testosterone. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like is it a different type of oil that you use, or they use oil and you use something else? Maybe explain that to me.
Yeah, so we have the option to use MCT, which is coconut oil, as what the testosterone is compounded in for our injections. So we offer all different types of methods. You can do creams. We have sublingual tablets for people that want to do that, injections, and then pellet therapy.
Okay.
So it's whatever fits that person's lifestyle. A lot of people prefer like an injection or a pellet because it's once a week, or the pellets are once a quarter. You kind of leave it and forget it. But as you're getting to the right dose and knowing how you feel on things, it's not uncommon for people to want to try like a sublingual tablet or just start with the injection.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, really it sounds to me like the sky's the limit. And even if someone, doesn't know if it's something you would offer or be able to help them, it's still worth checking into. That you'll still have a conversation. They can do a phone call. I love that you'll be able to book online.
Yes.
People have busy schedules, but it's great to be able to do that. And I'm just really impressed again with, I love being a part. I love finding a business that is already excelling and they're growing, and you're adding, some, a lot of new fun features. I mean, what does the future look like for Innovative Wellness right now? Obviously, you've got, is that considered West Des Moines or Clive?
We're right on the corner of all three.
Waukee,
West Des Moines, Clive.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. So University and 142nd Street is where we're at. But the future, for me, there's so much that people can do, but I don't want people to lose sight of just having a comprehensive annual physical. Even if you came in once a year and you're healthy, like, as a practitioner, being able to see a trend of where people have been even when they are healthy, that way when they don't feel good, I know what their baseline at great was. So coming in, getting that annual physical, meeting with the provider, establishing care, we all need a doctor like every now and then,
Sure.
you know, whether it's a sinus infection or something even like that. So being a part of us there, but then just normalizing this. For me, my nerdy passion is that quantum side. I just think that it tells us a lot. It's non-invasive. It's very much like a preventative and a wellness play for people. And so many people want that right now. You know, we offer peptides and we offer NAD injections and we offer a lot of things for like longevity and mitochondrial support. And that's great. But I tell people you can't lose sight of the foundational things either. So, just blending both of those together and helping people to understand why and how it all works is really what I feel like the future. And we are innovative wellness, so we plan on bringing in innovative technology and being able to stay on the cutting edge of like what's all, I mean, new technology is coming out every day. We look at like AI and everything else that's happening. So I can't even imagine like where we're going to be in 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
you read all these articles and it says, you know, right now we're at, you know, the worst that AI will ever be.
That's crazy.
And that's what's just
so mind-blowing.
You know, right? To think about it and just how quickly it's already, you know, grown. So,
we all need a clone. I feel like it's coming.
Oh, I know. You watch some of these movies and they're not far-fetched.
I know.
I mean, I remember watching a couple movies, and this might have been 10 years ago, but it was just like, yeah, you know, you basically have, you know, your AI person's living their best life. It's you, you know?
I know. Well, remember the Jetsons when we were little? And like you would see that and it's like, no way. Like people aren't going to talk to people on TVs. And now like I FaceTime on a daily basis, you know? And so it's like, I see this stuff in movies and.
I think I was thinking of, there was a movie called Surrogate.
Yeah.
It's wild. But you know, but no, I am truly grateful for your time. And again, I think it's worth everyone's time to look into innovative wellness. Christie Steiger, a lot of cool things going on. Go check out their location. Check out the website. I know you're revamping it right now.
Yeah, we are revamping it,
but it sounds like you know, when I went in there, everything was super. I would say friction free. It's very easy. You walk in, it's a comfortable setting. Everyone's friendly, and I think it's worth looking into, even if it's not for yourself. You know, instantly when you came to our group, I was like, you know, 4 or 5 people that come up in my brain. Oh, this would be good for them. So
yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very easy. Your first step is just call, and if you don't have labs already, schedule your lab draw, because I think it's best to have those labs in hand for that first appointment so that you have things that you can go over. And so just call, schedule that, and meet with a provider. And
I like how you said baseline.
Yeah.
That made a big, you know, that makes a big difference because now you have it. Like I have my labs and I'll continue to do them, but you can be like, oh yeah, hey Chris, here's your baseline. You know, we looked at this, here's some things we recommended. And now we can go back and say, oh, okay, are you taking that supplement? How does this feel? So I love that. And I love having I love being able to call someone and have a conversation and not have to wait, you know, 3 days to hear back from someone. So I don't know. It's just, you kind of feel like it's VIP.
We try and make it like that.
Yeah.
Again, we want you guys to feel like you're part of our family because you are. Yeah. We care. We love all of our patients. And we really, truly do. We talk about it a lot internally. And like, that's the culture that we want to bring to our community. And I feel like I'm glad to hear that we're doing it.
What are some of the things you've learned as a business owner? I mean, obviously it sounds like, you know, you went into this out of need.
Yep.
And then you thought, I want to help others. I don't want them to feel like I did.
Right.
You know, so what are some of the obstacles and challenges you had, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so I definitely didn't choose this. I went to school, got a business degree, actually wanted to be a cosmetologist. And when I was sick, it was just one of those things that it was like, we're missing this in Iowa. And so I wanted somebody else to be the solution, to be fair. I wanted to be better. I just wanted to move on with my life, and that didn't happen. And so I'm the type of person that when I see a big gap in something or that there is a need, I'm going to fix it.
100%.
We needed to have a fix, but it came with a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what a lot of people either really truly realize or they don't. When you're starting your own business, it is a big sacrifice. Time, investment, a little bit of sanity, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, so what would you say, what advice would you give to people looking that maybe are already entrepreneurs or thinking about starting their own business, what advice would you give to them as, starting their new endeavor, or to give them some courage leading their business?
So I would ask them a few questions. Like, is it something that you're really passionate about? I feel like if you don't have that fire in your belly, you will fail, because it's going to be so hard. It's going to be harder than the hardest thing you've ever done. Sometimes mentally, even a little bit physically.
Yeah.
You burn the candle at both ends initially in the beginning. But the thing that keeps me going is that I know we need it, and I would feel worse if I never tried, because you're going to take bigger risks than you've ever tried. You're going to have to get out there when you don't feel like it. You're going to have to show up when you don't feel like it. And so there's not really like off days in the beginning. And so if it's not worth it to you, and it's just like this random thing that you saw somebody else doing and it's not the real call in your life, then it's going to be like even harder. But if it's your passion and you have that fire in your belly, and, laying on your deathbed someday, you would look back and be like, I can't believe I didn't do that. Like, I should have brought that to the world. Then you need to jump off the cliff and don't look. Like, you just got to do it. You have to go, and you have to try, and surround yourself with people that love you, will lift you up, point people to you, and that just know that you're not going to do it alone.
I feel like that's a mic drop moment. It is. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's almost like if you don't agree with this, do not proceed to step number 2.
For sure.
And I've learned that. I've been guilty of thinking something looks really interesting and wow, the way they're doing that seems cool. But am I passionate about it? Is it something that really resonates with me? And is it something that I want to carry that torch and that I want to talk about all the time? And that I want people to pull me aside and ask me questions, and they want to learn, and I have the knowledge base. And I think that it's easy to be like, oh yeah, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of that. But that's not the case with you. I can tell that this is something that you're completely invested in.
Yeah, I'm totally locked in, and I don't tell a lot of people this, but so I'm a visionary. Like, if you get to know me, I'm a super nerdy person, and I just have a gift of still having an imagination and can see a big vision. But I don't look at competitors ever.
Boom.
Never. So people ask me well, what's so-and-so doing? I actually will ask people on my team to maybe sometimes look to make sure we're within the market on certain services that we're offering, but I don't look to the left or the right to other people, because you will hurt yourself really quickly and you'll get in your head. And so you just have to keep building that initial reason. You have to write down your why in the beginning. Why am I doing this? What is my why? So that when things get tough and it gets hard, you go back to your own original vision.
Yep.
And you make pivots with your business based on what's going on in your environment, and don't look at other people. A comparison game is terrible. It's so toxic.
They always say the thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is this something that you just learned on your own, or do you recommend a few books? Because it's instantly making me think of a couple books that I've read.
I think mine is my faith. I feel like God
Love that.
gave me a lot of vision. I stayed at home and just did a lot of Bible studies and just got true to myself and figured out what I wanted to do. And so I think that's where I just go back to. When you're pioneering something brand new, I mean, I'm pioneering some quantum physics for nobody does it. So I don't even really have people to look towards.
Right.
But then sometimes it's even tempting to be like, man, that would have been an easier business model. Maybe I should have bought a car wash. You know what I'm kidding?
I know. I know. Trust me, I get it. I know you can look at. You can literally now with AI. Hey, what are the top 5 businesses that would yield the most profit with the least amount of work? I can tell you wouldn't be happy.
Right.
And I think and obviously it's right in the name of your business.
Yeah.
Innovative wellness, right? I mean, you want to be an innovator.
Yes.
And that's. I think we all strive to. I would think most of us strive to have some innovation. 2 books and it's just I felt like you literally you kind of just embodied those books. But Traction, it's a book called Traction, and then there's another book called The Gap and the Gain.
Okay.
Both very, very good books, and Traction talks a lot about being a visionary and an implementer. So it's really cool. You just nailed those, kind of knowing where you fall or where you're most comfortable, which I really like. The Gap and the Gain, you nailed that too, because it talks a lot about not comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
Constantly, though, comparing yourself to you.
Yes.
Right? And you kind of talked about that with blood draws,
Yeah.
having a baseline.
Yeah.
Well, if we can have a baseline, great. And if we can compete with ourselves, I can look back and say, you know what? I feel better today than I did yesterday. I tried some things. I feel more confident. This worked, this didn't. Versus saying, man, Christie's just kicking my butt over there.
Yeah.
Man, look at all the things she's doing, and it seems like she has all the success. I'm not doing this. No, I can be grateful and for Christie, and I can be like, this is awesome. I'm so excited for her and her family and the business, and I want to learn from that. Now, what are some of those things I can take into myself and absorb as a business owner and as a human being to better myself?
Yeah. The other thing I would say too is that it's not about money.
Boom.
I mean, if you're looking at a business exclusively because of the financial piece, I think that you're just like a train wreck, honestly, ready to happen. Because for me, it again has to go back to that purpose. And yes, being around people that will lift you up, that will encourage you, that can help you to like see your vision more clearly. And when you deviate, just like keep pointing you back to what you are doing. I know I mentioned earlier that I competed for Mrs. America.
Yes.
And that was like one of the best experiences of my life, in the sense that all of the women there had such drive, mission, and purpose. And we got to spend 10 days together and like just encourage each other to keep going. It was never like a comparison thing. It was honestly, I felt like I left with like 50 new friends that I could call on if times got tough. And I was like, am I good enough? Can I do this? That they would be cheering behind me saying like, yes, you absolutely can. We've got you. Like, how can we help you? What do you need?
That is, I love that, because it just goes to show in life there's all of these different experiences, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's Mrs. America, whether it is, starting a business, whether it's trying to compete in a triathlon.
Yeah.
All of these things that am I good enough? Can I do this? Of course, I understand how it is to have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I think that's a real deal. I really do. It's also great to have other people that are like, oh, yep, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've done that. Let me give you my advice. Let me tell you my story. And it's just, I think all of it can transfer.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about when we have this talk about business and life and faith. All of it can transfer. And my mom, I remember the one thing I walked away whenever I've had strife, she's like, give it to God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's bigger than you.
Absolutely.
It's just bigger than you, and it's okay. And you get, and I feel like in those moments of vulnerability are when I have grown the most. When I'm just not afraid to talk to someone about something, and it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just going to be closed off and I'm not going to talk to anyone about stuff. You know what? I always feel better when I do. Yeah. So I am very grateful for your time, for all of the knowledge you've shared with us today. But this is cool. There's more to come. We're gonna chat more on some other things. Christie Steiger, Innovative Wellness. She does have her own podcast. There's going to be some cool stuff coming. We'll send all the links here so you can check it out. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.